In this unit, we've been looking at the artwork of Vasily Kandinsky. In today's session, what we're going to be attempting to do is create our own abstract work of art inspired by the man himself. Initially, Kandinsky was inspired by the Impressionist works of Claude Monet. However, as he developed his skills, he began to be inspired abstract artwork of people like Henri Matisse. Now, this abstract artwork was looking less about what was seen in front and was trying to be less photographic, and instead it was trying to convey emotions and moods through the shapes, through the colours being used. Here we can see Kandinsky's untitled artwork from 1941, and this is where we can really see Kandinsky's ideas about colour and shape. He uses yellow in this in order to show the warmth, the land and the earth, and these yellow surfaces appear to move towards us. The orange he uses is warm, and this is the colour he uses to associate with movement. So I want you to pause on this image for a moment and think about these questions. What can you see in this artwork? Do you associate these colours with the same ideas or different ones? So are you looking at the yellow and thinking, well, that's warm, and the orange is being warm? Are you seeing that yellow as being the surfaces of land and the earth? And are you seeing the orange as the movement that is being provided? So think about these and think, do you associate these colours with the same ideas? Or do you think he's actually showing you something slightly different? So pause the video and come and join me when you're ready. Here are two more of Kandinsky's paintings, Dark Freshness from 1927 and Twilight from 1943. Take a moment just to look at these and think about the colours that Kandinsky's used and the shapes that he's included in these. Now you'll notice he's used quite a lot of blue, and blue is seen as a celestial colour. This means it's associated with heaven and space and the sky. And you can see plenty of that on these paintings. Another colour that he's used is red and also purple. And these are sort of warm, lively, agitated and forceful colours. And once again, I want you to just pause and to take a moment to look at these images and think about what you can actually see. What do you think these paintings are of? And do you associate these colours with the same ideas? So do you see blue as that celestial, that heavenly colour, and those red and purples as warmly, lively colours? Or do you have different ideas for these? So pause the video and have a little think before we move on to the next Kandinsky examples. Here we can see Kandinsky's White Line from 1936 and Dominant Curve from that same year. And here we can see Kandinsky's ideas about colour and shape using contrasting colours. We've got the white from Dominant Curve, which shows clarity, clearness, and it's a deep, silent and full of possibility using that colour. The black, however, of White Line shows nothingness. There's no possibilities in there, and this one is silent, but instead of being full of possibility, the silence of black is without hope and associated with death. And again, take a look at these two pictures and think about what Kandinsky is trying to show. What do you see? And then the idea that Kandinsky is using that white as a deep silence that's full of possibility, and the black as a silence without hope and associated with death. Do you agree with these, or do you have some different ideas for the colours that you'll be using in your own painting? Now, in his later paintings, Kandinsky continued with this theme of the colours representing certain feelings and emotions and moods, but he also started to experiment slightly more with the materials he worked with. Sometimes he mixed sand with the paint to create textured areas on his painting, and in this painting you can see a brown section in the top left, and rather than just being simple paint on its own, he actually textured this with sand. Why do you think Kandinsky started to think about the idea of texture and touch when he did these paintings? What do you think these added to the abstract art? Now today you're going to make your own Kandinsky inspired abstract works of art, and you can use your previous sketches and ideas to help act as a stimulus for this. Now you can see a couple of examples that I've placed on the screen in front of you. You can see that the colours have stayed pretty much the same, as have the shapes. However, I've experimented with the arrangement by moving these things around, just to see how I feel about it, to see whether it tells you the story I want the painting to be telling me. And if you look very carefully, you might spot some squares on there where I've added some sand to create some texture to the image. Could you do the same with your work today? So we're going to finish this unit with you designing and painting your own Kandinsky style artwork, and you can use music of your choice to inspire this work. So I want you to be thinking about the sketches and the work that you've done previously. I want you to be thinking about the arrangements. I don't want you just to do one image today. I want you to try 2 different images to make sure that you can see how those changes are going to make an impact on your viewer. You can use the different types of media for your work, so you can be using paint, you could be using colouring pencils, whatever you have to hand, and also you might be adding in some of those textured ideas. You might even decide that this is going to be something that you're going to create digitally. You're going to use some art programs on your computer. Whatever you're doing, I want you to be as creative and as expressive as you possibly can. And I look forward to seeing your final artwork for this unit. So good luck with your Kandinsky style abstract art.